we stay pretty busy.
No, I was just looking at the numbers and the duration, and it sounds like it. Let me think. I had a follow-up thought, if you give me a moment, on
Sure.
I felt like I was going to ask you something further on the
Home Advisor, about the money, about the lead generation, pay per lead, focusing zip codes.
How would you characterize? Actually, I have a question from my script here, so I'll just run with it because it does relate to this topic. I've got this kind of long script that, again, I try to draw from based upon the different factors. So, and again, you guys have been doing this a while, and you have. It feels like with your management company thing. Let me ask you this. This is just a hypothesis. The last pest control person I spoke to, for example, had three guys, and he's running around doing people's houses, right? So, you're in Chicago, and he was not in Chicago. Let me put it that way. You've got this management company thing, and again, you're in a city. Would you characterize your business as being having a sizable amount of kind of repeat ongoing customers versus like the Yelps and the Home Advisors, maybe when I lived there, you trying to get my wife to call you? Like, how should I think about your business? Because it'll help me frame the question.
Well, okay. The thing is, our business is not, this is the one, I'll just give you one quick thing about pest control. There's two types of pest control business models. One of them is maintenance, okay, and that's kind of the old school model, maintenance, okay. That's where Orkin would come in, they'll sign you up for a quarterly contract, and their revenue model is based on accounts that they have. So they'll do a present value of all their accounts, and that's how they can determine their valuation of their company. And then that's how they actually buy and sell pest control companies out there. They want to look at your routes, and that was the old school model. Now, the other model is the problem fixing model, where you just fix the guy's problem and move on to the next customer. You don't necessarily have any contract. You basically just go, and so you move on to the next customer, but you do want to fix their problem. That's kind of our model. And the thing about it is, when you have these management companies, because they have so many units, they inherently will give you business. It doesn't mean that you're going to the same unit on a regular basis. You're just doing their business, their buildings, and you end up getting one guy, somebody gets a rat in their apartment this weekend, or somebody gets a mouse in their apartment, all that stuff. It just happens. And so no matter when you're managing 3,000 units or whatever these guys manage, they tend to get, calls, bed bugs. I'm going to get bed bugs. Every weekend is something different. So we come in on Monday, we're going to get a number of girls with rats in their apartment, and, a variety of calls come in over the weekend. And so that's just part of being in Chicago. In Chicago, the infrastructure has, the same thing in San Francisco. There's some good cities for that have this kind of old infrastructure that allows for roaches, rats, mice. New York City, San Francisco, Chicago, those are all really good cities for pest control because of that.
That's helpful, and frankly, I appreciate you kind of politely calibrating the question, because you're right. It makes sense that you're more, my words, kind of event-driven, versus whatever the terms were, kind of that, I've got, again, some family in Texas has somebody come and spray for mosquitoes every 21 days, and they pay for a season.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it. So that's helpful context for me with respect to that. Do you see the mosquito, and I'm trying to think in the Chicago market, do you see like the mosquito only, and frankly there's a bunch of franchises, Mosquito Authority, Shield, Mosquito Shield, Mosquito Squad, Mosquito Buzz, Mosquito Next, Mosquito Joe. There's probably 5 more. Are they running around Chicago? Do you see them?
No, not really. They're in the suburbs. So all those guys are losing money. All those companies. They all invested. It's much like the bed bug industry that really ramped up, that now all these guys are out there sucking wind on all their equipment that they spent on, because like a lot of people invested in in heat treatment systems, and they spent big loans. They take out loans to buy this equipment, which in the reality is you don't even need it. It's all a gimmick and stuff. You can do the same thing with chemical. So the same goes for these mosquito guys. They got all these 4-wheelers and stuff like that with foggers and stuff. And the calls I don't see the calls. There's only a number of golf courses out there. There's only a number of country